And now, from Studio 315, in the luxury towers of Cord Hall, on the historic campus of St. John's Northwestern Academies, it's time for the latest edition of the Lancer News Network. Entertain, unify, inform. This is LNN.
Good morning, Lancers. I'm Michael Stadler, and this is an LNN special edition. Today is Monday, November 15th, 2021. Thanks for joining us. Today we'll get an in-depth preview of the upcoming winter sports season, learn about some of the new teachers here at SJNA, and you'll get a little insight into how the media studies class operates. But first, some news from the enrollment department. Are you interested in volunteering to become a sponsor for new students? Having a reliable contact is extremely important for new arrivals, and that could be you. You can help by being the go-to person during the first 7 days of a new student's time on campus. Show them around campus, help them learn the daily routine and class schedule, and answer questions common to most new cadets and preps. If interested, please email Mr. Sevens at j7s@sjnacademies.org. All right, thank you guys so much for being willing to take a couple of minutes and sit down with us and let us learn a little bit about some new faces here at St. John's Northwestern. So if we could start out, just tell us who you are and tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right, I guess I'll go. So I'm Mr. Johnson. I teach chemistry and honors chemistry, and this is actually my first year teaching.
I'm Ms. Montgomery. I teach geometry, college algebra, and college statistics. This is now going to be my 10th or 11th year. I forgot, but it's 10 plus years of teaching.
Oh. And I'm Miss Lewis. I'm the college and career counselor. I teach college and career planning, and this is also my first year teaching.
Great. So next, if you could just tell us where were you working before you were here, and how does that compare to St. John's?
So previously in the spring of 2021, I taught at Nicolay High School in Milwaukee. Nicolay is much larger than St. John's. I think my average class was 20 kids. There's only, my biggest class is 12 people here. So I'll take that any day over teaching virtually.
This past year was my first year in Wisconsin, and I was teaching at a school in MPS. I did have a class size of 42. We were all virtual until end of April, and then we turned hybrid. But yeah, smaller class size. Also, I like the fact that we do a lot more flexibility with our students' schedules, and then I feel like just we're around here a lot more for our students. We're a lot more visible and available to them.
Yeah, at like all times of the day or weekends. Yeah,
all times.
So. Okay, I'll go. So, like I said, this is my first year teaching. So before here, I was in corporate. So I worked at a company called Foreign Print, and I was in marketing and copywriting. So I was a professional writer. So compared to that, I mean, St. John's is it's a lot different. It really reminds me of my years as a university coach, where I was able to help students professionally, academically, athletically, kind of like in all aspects of their life. And that's what I'm really enjoying here, is just like those kind of relationships that I'm building with students that aren't even in my class. So it's nice just to have like students pop in, they steal candy, or they just, they want to have like more than 1 week or more than one meeting a week to go over like the college applications. And it's just really nice being able to like meet the students and kind of just help them through the whole process.
Excellent. So the three of you going through this situation together, a brand new school, brand new surroundings, other than playing Dungeons and Dragons together, is there any sort of support system that you guys have built? Do you hang out? Do you talk? Is there, do you go to each other for, issues, problems, suggestions? How have the three of you kind of developed and grown together in the last couple months here?
I think everyone has seen us do our walks.
Yep.
It's something that I think is very good and healthy. Most of the time. Sometimes someone falls on the walks. But I think for us, it gives us a chance, because, we're human too. I know students don't think that teachers are human, but we're very much human. And we need a chance to reset, refocus, since we were very much new and there was a lot to learn and not a lot of time to learn it in, we kind of stick close and helped each other stay afloat or came drowning together. So.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you so much for being willing to sit down, and it's great to learn a little bit about our new faces here at St. John's Northwestern. Thanks again. Attention all juniors and seniors. New this coming academic year, SJNA, in cooperation with Viterbo University, is offering a servant leadership course during the spring semester taught by Brigadier General retired John Hanley. It's limited to 12 students and is open to both military and prefect academy seniors. Juniors can enroll in this course with permission from the Upper School Academic Dean. You can earn both high school and college credit upon successful completion, or take it just as a high school course to meet the leadership education requirements. Also, if a student takes part in the Italian Leadership and Cultural Experience in March 2022, they can take this course as a high school honors course graded on the honors grading scale. Please contact Ms. Stephanie Eiler at seiler@sjnacademies.org for more information and to enroll today. And speaking of that Italian Leadership and Cultural Experience, registration is still available through November 28th. We'll visit 5 beautiful cities, see many famous landmarks, and have some fantastic learning opportunities at businesses and fellow military academies and boarding schools. This is also another opportunity for you to receive an honors or dual high school and college credit. Please see Mr. Ben Peterson with any questions or interest you have. And now, here's a look at what it's like to be on the LNN staff as part of the Media Studies class. The Media Studies class at St. John's Northwestern is still in its infancy. This being only the second semester the class has existed, content, topics, approaches, they all vary as we grow and develop together. Here's a little insight as to how the Media Studies class operates. And now, it's time for Talking to Yourself with your host, Michael Stadler. I'm here with Media Studies Advisor Michael Stadler, trying to find out exactly what this Media Studies class is all about. Michael, welcome. Thank you for taking the time to sit down with me. Might I say, you're looking very dapper today. Yes, well, thank you very much for having me. And I appreciate you shining a spotlight literally on our little program here. We're definitely proud of it. And thank you very much for the compliment. It's almost like we shop at the same stores. Maybe I probably have a little bit better taste in footwear, but otherwise I appreciate the compliment. So Michael, Media Studies, what exactly is it? So Media Studies is a class that we learn about how to consume, how to produce, and how to be a part of the media industry, as well as the historical background. Where did media start? You might be interested to find out. Media started by carving into stones. So how has it progressed from there? Well, in recent years, very, very much. So media studies is really, historical background plus how to do the things that modern media do. Sounds very interesting. And would you say that your staff, the students who decide to take media studies, they're very interested in the media, or what makes someone take this particular class? Well, some students are very interested. Some students really want to learn more about how to post things to social media and how to grab people's attention, how to best get information across to an audience. And several of the staff just didn't want to take physics. So walk us through a typical day in a media studies class. Well, funny you should ask, Michael. I really appreciate the question, and I've gone ahead and produced a little dramatization of a typical day in the media studies class. So here it is.
Well, that is fascinating. Michael, before I let you go here, I hear that the next episode of LNN is going to be a little different format. Can you tell us a little bit about that? As a matter of fact, yes, the next show is going to be December 13th. And what I've done is there's 10 people on the staff, and I've split them into 2 teams. And on December 13th, you're going to see 2 episodes of LNN. And one is going to be produced by each group, and you're going to get a Google form. And while you watch, you'll be able to vote for your favorite segments, your favorite personalities, your favorite episode. And I wouldn't say their grades are going to depend on your votes, but there's going to be some awards that are handed out. And so it's kind of a competition. And I'm really looking forward. Already I've seen and heard some of the things that they're putting together. And I'm really excited to see what they're capable of without me kind of stepping in and helping. And like I said, so far, some of the things I'm seeing and hearing are very impressive. So December 13th, make sure you're on the lookout for that. Wow. I think that's going to be a great show, and we should all be looking forward to that. Thank you so much for sitting down with me today. Good luck, and we'll definitely be watching the next episode of LNN.
So far, what has been your favorite part of being in the media studies class?
I think the freedom we have to work and how we are able to make our own segments in our own period of time.
Ooh, definitely the people, and also the creativity that allows a lot of different freedom when creating the news articles and different segments and stuff like that. It really helps when you have the right people working with you.
I think the most fun thing I've done so far is kind of learn about the mechanics and everything that goes into making the LNN show, because I used to look forward to it all the time last year, each week to see the episodes, and it's kind of cool to be a part of that team and see how everything comes together.
I feel like the group of the class, they're all really funny, and we make really creative stuff. All of our videos are funny, or they make everyone laugh.
And what's been either your least favorite or the most challenging part of doing it?
Probably holding myself accountable, because it's pretty tough to get all that stuff done and stay on track.
Getting everyone to do their job. It's kind of hard because they all like to play around and don't take things seriously. I feel like you can, it just takes a lot of work to get them to make their stuff.
Staying on task, because segments can last a long time, multiple weeks. Sometimes you can just lose focus and concentration pretty easily.
Of the jobs that you've done so far as a member of the LNN staff, which one do you feel has suited you the best?
I would say probably anchor. I feel like I bring a little bit more energy in.
Probably the desk editor, just because it's reading over different people's scripts, making sure there's no grammatical mistakes, and that it all makes sense, which I enjoy doing.
The lights, I don't know how's it called?
The
AV operator, yeah. I really like doing that.
Is media studies a course that you would recommend for others to take?
Yes, easily.
So yes, I would definitely recommend it to everyone.
Yes, of course. You're gonna learn about a lot of stuff. Anything about also the history of how media started, how it's been evolving throughout the time.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's really fun, and it's a really cool class. I love it. It's my favorite.
Well, that certainly seems like a special group. Great stuff. In other news, this week is World Kindness Week. Each day this week, Mrs. Karsten will send out a kindness challenge. Watch your emails for the challenge of the day. Today's challenge, text or call a friend or relative you haven't talked to in a while. Tell them something you appreciate about them. You have the power to make someone happy today. And now another thing that makes plenty of people happy, winter sports season is here. Here with a full preview is, well, me.
During the fall, athletics here at St. John's are a wonderful experience, and the grounds are a beautiful place to play. But now that it's getting cold outside, Farron Hall Gymnasium is where you'll find all the winter sports taking place. Recently, I got a chance to sit down with Athletic Director Mike Fink to pick his brain about the upcoming winter sports season. We're here with Coach Mike Fink, Athletic Director of the Lancers. First of all, Coach, congratulations on a very successful fall sports season.
We're moving into the winter season here, so what sports and activities are we offering for the winter season?
Thanks for having me this morning. Again, before I talk about the winter, I want to congratulate our soccer team. There's a lot of excitement around. T-shirt day, everything else going on, so congratulations to the players and coaches, and good luck tonight. Moving into our winter sports, so we'll offer basketball, we'll offer hockey, we'll offer swimming and wrestling. We'll also have some prep sports going on. We're going to start a prep basketball team this winter. Adam Frame is going to step in and work with that group. DJ Malachnik is now our full-time head boys basketball coach, taking over for his father, Dwayne. Dwayne will move into an assistant role.
And are there any specific players or athletes that Lancer fans should be on the lookout for this season?
Yeah, I think with basketball, Jonah Gordon, Joey Schinner, Dalton Papandrea, those are kids that got a lot of minutes last year, so we're expecting big things out of them. We also have a couple of new boys from Australia that I think are going to be key players. Wrestling, Colin Bonacorsi is back to help us there. He'll be the leader of a young group. There's a lot of new faces in there as well. When we look at our swimming, I'm looking forward to see Timothy O'Quinn get in the pool. He was a transfer here a couple of years ago, I believe, from Pewaukee. And Sophie Zielinski. She did a phenomenal job here when she was swimming. Should be a very, very exciting winter. I'm looking forward to it, and let's go Lancers.
I also had a chance to talk briefly with basketball coach DJ Malachnik, who pointed out that although they have lost some key players from last year, they're looking to build on the success of the past several years with several returning players like Johnny Devane, Joey Schinner, and Dalton Papandrea, several younger players whom he expects to step up and make an impact, and some new talent that wasn't part of the program last year. He also stated while last year crowds were limited due to COVID-19 restrictions, this year he hopes to bring back the sixth man and pack the stands to support the team.
Michael Stadler here with Coach John Schmidt, coach of the wrestling team. And for those who are not overly familiar with the wrestling program or haven't had much exposure, how would you describe the level of success we've achieved over the last few seasons?
I'd say we've had a ton of success. We have a lot of new wrestlers. Last year, like 90% of our team was in their first year of wrestling. So I'd say being a COVID year and with no freshman and JV tournaments available, the boys did a really, really good job.
Excellent. And with that in mind, what are the overall expectations for the upcoming season?
Definitely continue the success. Kind of grow in our field. I want the boys and girls now, to elevate their level of wrestling, change their mindset a little bit, and maybe a little bit more success in the wins and losses category.
Excellent. And speaking of, when is the first time that Lancer fans can come and support the team?
December 10th. We have the Lancer Invitational right here in Farron Hall, and it's going to start at 2 o'clock, and we'll have 14 wrestlers out there going at it. So.
Outstanding. Good luck, Coach.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
I'm here with Coach John Pickelman, who, among other things, like being the dean of the middle school and teaching several classes, is also one of the coaches of shooting sports. So, Coach, when we hear the term shooting sports, what does that mean here at SJNA?
That's a great question. Glad you asked that. So we have archery in the fall, and that's how we set it up. And so we're shooting the National Archery in the Schools program protocols. That means we're shooting here in the indoor range underneath Musso. And that has kind of come to a close now that fall season has ended. Now we're going to move into winter season, which is going to be our marksmanship training. So that is going to take place in the winter. And then traps and clays will take place in the spring.
How many athletes are currently involved in shooting sports here?
I believe the last count for marksmanship was about 25. So we have quite a few people that are interested in coming down and shooting the air rifles. During the archery season, we had about 20 or so that were down here as well. And with trap and clays, I'm sure we're going to have more.
Excellent. And if somebody did want to get involved, what qualifications would they have to have in order to be a part of it?
There really aren't any. If you've never shot before and you want to come shoot, just come see us, talk to myself, talk to Mr. LeVictor, talk to Mr. Black, and we'd be happy to have you out here. We're going to put you through all the safety classes. I am a certified NRA instructor, so I teach a lot of gun classes outside of school time. So please let us know, and we'll help you with all the safety stuff and get you going.
Outstanding. Thanks for your time, and good luck this upcoming season.
Thank you, sir.
And we would be remiss if we didn't at least mention the Raider team, who took first place in their last open meet and finished the season 15th in the country. State semifinalist soccer, nationally ranked Raider team, winter teams, you got a lot to live up to. For LNN Sports, I'm Michael Stadler. And speaking of the soccer team, head coach Mr. Greg Prospero wrote into LNN with the following message, quote, The soccer coaching staff would like to thank the players for all their hard work and dedication throughout the soccer season. We would also like to thank the fans for their noise and support. You pushed us all the way to the end of this historic season. Again, thank you, and let's do it again next year, end quote. Thanks, Coach. We enjoyed it, and we look forward to next season. Well, SJNA is truly one of the most diverse schools in the world, and we're proud to have welcomed some new international students from Australia in the past few weeks. Here's me again, bringing you this week's Student Spotlight.
I'm Andre Honorado.
I'm Jonah Gordon.
I'm Francis Donato.
So before you came to St. John's, did any of you actually know each other? I know Australia is a huge place, but did any of you know each other before coming here?
Well, I lived in Burpengary and he lived in Deception Bay, so it's like 10 minutes away from each other. Yeah. So I used to always chill at his house with his family with a couple of friends. Jonah had this famous night, it's called Taco Tuesday. Yeah, and then everyone will come over and we'll just have a great feed. His mum will cook up some amazing tacos, and we'll just talk. It was great. And that's where me and Jonah really kicked off our friendship. Yeah.
And Andre, where are you from then?
I'm from Sydney.
How far away is that from where these guys live?
It's like a 3-hour flight away from them too.
Oh.
So it's like not that far, but...
Yeah. But far. Yeah. St. John's is halfway across the world. How did you hear about this place?
I guess just being recruited. In Australia, there was a coach and he had contacts with St. John's.
With that, I got scouted by I think the same coach, right?
Yeah, Trevor.
Yeah, and I wanted to develop my things, and this place has more opportunity. Yeah, I guess that growing up with Jonah, he really inspired me, really pushed me to push my basketball. So he started taking me down to this coach that we've all been scouted by, and he developed me and Jonah very well to get to a certain level and certain potential to play.
Interesting that we didn't talk about it beforehand, but all three of you are here to play basketball. Jonah, you were on the team last year. I know we lost a couple of key players. Do you think the addition of your two Australian friends is going to have a big impact this year?
I think it's going to have a great impact. I mean, I know Frenchie really well, so I know our chemistry is really tight. But with Andre, I don't really know him, but I feel just training with them already, it's going to be a really good season this year. So it's looking really good.
Are there any really big differences between being here in the States and being in Australia?
Yeah, all right. Well, I'm gonna start off with the cussing words. I mean, let me just say, in Australia, it's literally it's our nature to swear. When I came in last year, everyone thought I was on something. I'd call my friends back home. I'd be like, "Yo, what's good?" And they'd be like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa." I'd be like, "What? It's my boy."
What about school in particular? Frenchie, I had a few conversations with you when you first got here. How is school different here than it is in Australia?
Completely different. Every day is a new day, so there's always different classes you take. It's not always English is 6th period and US history is 5th. It's always something different every day. We actually get a thing called recess and lunch where we actually go outside and you play. You go to the courts or you sit out on the balcony and you talk, you eat food. And I'll normally go, recess is just 25 minutes and lunch is an hour. But you're not indoors, you're outside, you're playing basketball, you get those facilities.
And then here, you get graded on homework.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird.
So in Australia, it works with, you don't get graded on homework, quizzes, nothing. It's one final test.
You know what's weird? They start in the middle.
We start end of January, and we go to November, which is finishing up for us.
I'm going home in December. I'm not staying here.
We're ready for go on holiday. We're ready for our 2 months off. Yeah. We got to stay and do school again.
I understand you guys. I look at the facial expressions. Everyone's walking around with a book bag on.
Oh yeah.
So in Australia, right? Yeah, if you walk around with a book bag, people are just gonna assume you're leaving or you're just going home. You're gonna get a random teacher coming up to you where do you think you're going?
Yeah.
Is there anything else you guys don't all have pet kangaroos that you carry around?
No. You will see them in the wildlife, if you go out in the bush. We have the Australian Zoo in Queensland, so you can go visit them. But they're not, your local pet. You put them, a leash and, go for a walk with them.
Interesting stuff. And finally, last Thursday was Veterans Day. We at LNN would like to take this opportunity to thank all those who have served. And around here, there are many. So thank you for the sacrifices you've made and the service you've provided to your country and your fellow man. And that's all for today's special edition of LNN. Tune in December 13th for the episode competition featuring all 10 members of the LNN staff. Entertain, inform, unify. This is LNN. I'm Michael Stadler. Thanks for watching.